Good morning, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I'm just going to wait a couple minutes for Aline to pop on. There she is.
There we go.
Yeah,
Hi. Hi, beautiful.
hello, beautiful queen.
Hi, beautiful queen.
Grand rising, everyone. Aline and I, we're having a little bit of technical difficulty, but we seem to have got it together. Thank you so much for doing this live with me, Aline, and just sharing about our amazing juicing journey so far, and just being so open. And it's just so much fun to do this with you. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited to chat today and just see how everything has been. So how are you doing?
Yay. Happy day 39, queen. Oh my gosh, you look amazing. I love your hair. I love your
Thank
earrings.
you.
You're so beautiful. I know. It's been good. It's been very slow at times and very fast other times, where I'm like, oh my gosh, are we already at day 40? It does pass really fast when we're on the juices. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling positive, like super healthy in my body, my mind. Hit a couple rough spots this week, a little bit of just like needing to process some emotions. And I did some Trinity coherence that Queen Tracy taught us to do, where we sit down and just like go to the sensation, go all the way to the sensation in the body until it dissolves itself. So I've been, doing a little bit of that. Just like juicing and preparing to work. I'm going to start working soon. I'm excited. We're preparing the sweet life as well. Just like coming back online. I always say that. Like, I feel like when I get on the juices, I'm just like coming back online, coming back to my true self, feeling what I truly feel, and just feeling more generally positive about life. Yeah. How about you? I know you've had a,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Me too, about the kind of coming back online just like you. And you look so cute, by the way, so sporty. You're wearing my favorite color, green.
Yay.
And you have my favorite scrunchie in. So I love
I
that
know we
too.
can't see it. You gave me this. I love it.
I love it too. I was telling Aline before, I was wearing her t-shirt yesterday and I was like, oh, I missed my bestie. But
Cute.
yeah, I've been processing some deep stuff too this week. Well, first of all, before I started it's like sometimes when you're on a juice cleanse, I don't know if you experience this, but like small things can happen that'll actually give you like a big opportunity to process much deeper things that you did not know were going to bubble to the surface. So, like for me this week, and by the way, you all, I always say the juicing roller coaster because it's really important to appreciate the highs because the lows come as well. So it's important just to have gratitude throughout it all and just know that it's all for your greater good. So, prior to doing my first extended juice cleanse, I was having some dental issues, which actually I've learned are stemming from parathyroid weakness, which is something that I'm working on right now. And when you have parathyroid weakness, you have malabsorption of calcium because it impedes your body's ability to absorb calcium. So, prior to coming on my first juice cleanse, I was having some dental issues, and it really scared me because I had never had any dental issues before. I had never even had a cavity my whole life, and I cracked my tooth, and I had to have a root canal. And that has been just affecting me, and I really want to get it out. But with that being said, just to preface a little bit, this week I had some sensitivity in my teeth And, it kind of brought me back to that place of fear, of everything that had happened with my tooth cracking. And then, yeah, it just really lowered my vibration and brought me to a place of fear. But I ended up having this kind of deep, profound realization. I was really frustrated and stressed. And, I started looking inside and asking myself where these feelings were coming from. And I had this profound realization that I have a deeply embedded fear of leaving my children prematurely. Like I didn't really realize that I had this fear, but it's like any small, health issue that comes up sometimes, especially for people like me with PTSD and anxiety, sometimes that spirals into something completely different. I was just having some sensitivity in my teeth, but then my brain went down this negative rabbit hole of like, what's wrong? I'm not healthy. Like, what if I have to have this procedure? What if I have to have this done and something bad happens and I'm not here for my kids? And that fear was like really weighing on me. And I didn't have any idea until I did that deeper shadow work of where that tension and like upset was even coming from. And so when I had that realization, you know, I was able to think about it more deeply and to surrender that fear. Now, is it going to take time for me to completely surrender that
Yeah.
fear? Yes. Yeah, totally. But the fact is that when you're juicing, a lot of times your mind, it's so much more clear and you're able to process things better and actually get to the root of issues. So I was feeling so upset and so stressed out, and it really wasn't behind the tooth sensitivity. It was really because of my own fears of, uh, health issues pulling me out of my family's lives too early. And I feel like they need me, they need their mama. So that was like a really, really deep moment for me this week. And I thought a lot about it and I cried, and I let it go. And I did some deep breathing. I used my Healy, which is my frequency device. I used that and I ran a program, for healing, um, for my emotions. And I just really rested and I took time to like process. A lot of times we have these fears and these different things and we never really address them. So they just stay in the body and they fester until they bubble up, and we don't recognize what's bubbling up, like, unless we do the work, and we have the capacity to do the work. And a lot of times when we're eating and we're exposed to so many chemicals and things, like, it fogs us to where we don't have the capacity to really do that work because it's not easy.
Yeah.
So I just basically cried it out and worked through it. And then after that, I actually released some parasites and I was feeling like so much better. So
Yeah.
I was feeling a lot better yesterday and today. I still have a little bit of fatigue, a little bit of irritability, but that's normal. That comes along with detox. So that was like the big processing that I did this week. It was really not as much physical as it was like spiritual and inner
Mm-hmm.
work.
Mm.
So,
Wow.
whew, it was a deep one.
Congratulations. Yeah, that's not easy. It's so hard to take that moment of like what's going on beyond that, beyond what appears to be something, but it's like taking that moment to really like go within. It's like, the ancient Egyptians, they used to say, know thyself, like get to know yourself, get to know who you are, get to know what like triggers you, what turns you on, what makes you upset, what makes you sad. And there's always something deeply rooted in our childhood too. Perhaps you had this fear when you were very young, of abandoning or being abandoned, like this fear that the survival comes from like a long, long time ago. And for sure, and we could use those fears to our benefit. We could use those fears and transform them into something positive. Like, yeah, if we're afraid of leaving our children, then let's continue to, put that energy and like transform it into positive action, then is what I'm trying to say. Like transform it into, well, how am I going to do my best to stay healthy, to, maintain a good weight, to take care of myself, maybe, some like not drinking, not smoking for those who are still like, putting that at the forefront of our priorities. Like, I don't want to leave my child. Well, how am I going to turn that into positive action, and not stay in that fear, not just stay in that, but, sometimes we just have to let the healing happen too, like you were saying, the teeth, like, there's not much we can do really when we're detoxing. Some people, I've even heard, their teeth were moving. They started moving during a detox. I've heard reports of teeth changing colors during detox. Teeth are definitely a part of our bodies. They are alive. We detox through our teeth, through our gums, and our tongue. So our mouth is, a very sensitive place during a healing process. So, like, don't go see a dentist during these times, because they don't understand what's going on, and they may want to pull out your teeth, or they may want to perform a surgery on your teeth. And I really think it's important to at least give ourselves a chance to get through the detox, and the gums will strengthen themselves again. Things will change. The color is going to change. Like, our teeth do get brighter over time when we cleanse. So we just got to let our body kind of like be in full trust, be in full surrender, and be like, body, I trust you. I trust you're doing the right thing to help me heal, because the body always wants to do what it needs to heal. We have to trust its innate wisdom. Our mind maybe thinks that we know better, but we don't really understand everything that's going on. So we have to have that level of trust. But I think it's so beautiful how you're processing your emotions when maybe in the past you were running away from them, or, stuffing them down with alcohol, drugs, food, all these things. And now you're in a place where you're like, let me go sit down with myself and see what's really going on a deeper level. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. That's beautiful.
Thank
And that's why
you.
we're such good friends, because we both can do that, and we both can do that for each other, because you can only meet somebody, to the level that you've met yourself. And I think that's one of the reasons why we feel so safe with each other. It's because we can come to one another with like anything and we know the other is going to hold us with a lot of love, compassion, a non-judgmental attitude, because that's how I feel anyway about you, because you are ready to go to those places. And I think it really improves all of our friendships, all of our relationships, that, when we could do that for ourselves and meet our deepest inner fears, sadness, worries, like, that takes a lot of courage. And I think that's what 99.9% of people are running away from every single day. That's why we're living in a society of people who overstuff, overdrink, oversmoke, by fear of just sitting with that uncomfortable feeling. So,
Ah,
hats off
thank
to
you
you,
so
Queen.
much.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. And I've learned so much from you too about like doing that work and the growth. And just so proud of both of us, and just especially proud of you too. I know that it's not, this kind of work is not easy. And also, so many people, if you're listening right now, so many people ask, like, how do you do the shadow work? What is that? How do you do it?
Yeah.
This is how it happens organically when you're cleansing your
Yeah.
temple. I could have I could have not asked myself the questions, you know? But when the fear came up and the stress and these other things that lower our vibration, that is our opportunity to ask ourselves some questions. And that is how we initiate the shadow work organically. It's not like you can sit down and there's some handbook. So this question's kind of difficult for me when people ask me, like, well, how do you do that part of it?
Yeah.
But that's really, this is what it is. It's when something challenging comes up in your life and something that's buried deeper tries to bubble to the surface. And either we facilitate that and we help it to come to the surface and to release it and surrender it to God, or we use other coping mechanisms to bury it back down. And when it's trapped inside, it causes other problems in our energetic field, and in our body. So it's just really, really important, like you said, for us to just continue getting to know ourselves because we change like constantly. You know, we're constantly changing and evolving, hopefully for the better, you know. Um, but that is how we do the shadow work. We have some things come up that aren't comfortable to talk about, that aren't comfortable to deal with, you know, and we process and we work through and we find comfort and relief on the other side of it, you know? Whereas when we just repress it, we never find that comfort and that release and that kind of cyclical closure, you know? It's like you have something stressful, we don't typically process those things and then have closure and let them go. A lot of times we just bury it down and we repress it, whether we've learned that most of us have learned that behavior, you know? I don't think it's our natural behavior, but it has sort of become that, like the way that society is, just how men are supposed to downgrade their feelings, and also women, they want us to downgrade our feelings, or else they call us too emotional, you know, too
Yeah.
sensitive. When we want to work through these things, but that's just part of breaking out of the matrix. So, and for all of you wondering, like, my teeth felt much better like a day or two later, and I think that I actually kind of aggravated the situation myself because I flossed really hard and because I didn't like how my teeth were feeling dirty. So you have to be careful not to do that, y'all. If you're sometimes on a juice cleanse, your teeth will feel dirty because you're detoxing out of your teeth. But like flossing really hard and scrubbing really hard with your toothbrush can actually aggravate your gums. And I knew better. And also, I always drink my juice out of a straw. And for this week, for some reason, I was just feeling light and free and drinking all my fruit juice like out of the cup without a straw. And so I think it was just several things like detox on top of those two things that I just mentioned. But I'm also in agreement with Aline that when we're detoxing, we also have to be careful not to always rush to try to find the answer from someone else instead of sitting back and waiting and just giving our body the opportunity to process the situation. I mean, think about this. Like sometimes, like for instance, if you break your arm, the doctor might set it or, you know, and then just tell you to just leave it be and keep it still and put it in a cast so your body can do all the work to heal it. Well, our teeth are bones. So, you know, we can also give our teeth the opportunity to. So, some things that you can do if you're juicing or if you're not juicing or you just want some oral care tips. One thing that's really good is a water pick, which is really great instead of floss too, because it's much less abrasive. Another thing you can do is oil pulling, and I also just ordered some herbs, some comfrey. And comfrey is supposed to heal your gums
Oh,
and regenerate your teeth, which is really good if you're like
oh,
me and have any kind of thyroid issue where you're not absorbing your calcium properly, which is how I ended up with the cracked tooth in the first place. And I never would have known had I not attended the Institute of Regenerative Health and learned all about that. But you can do a water pick. You can put the herbs in your water pick tank even if you
oh,
want and do it around like that. You can oil pull and you can use like comfrey, clove. You can also make a paste where you just take some turmeric and put a little bit of water in it to make a paste and rub the turmeric onto your teeth
oh.
and gums and let it sit for a couple minutes. That is really helpful. If you're having any kind of cavity issue or like pain or an abscess, something really good is to take a piece of garlic and smash it and wait like 10-15 minutes for the enzymes to enact and then hold it by the tooth or the gum area in your teeth, which is what I did when I was trying to remove the issues I was having with the root canal tooth. Um, it helps to remove infection. So those are all some things
Oh,
that you can do. And there's a lot of remineralizing toothpastes out there. Tooth powders is the word I was looking for. Tooth powders that are like some different ground herbs, clove, and different things that can help to remineralize and disinfect and all that good stuff. So there are a lot of natural options to help with your teeth if you're having any sort of detox or you're worried about your oral care in any way. Maybe try some natural routes first so
Mm-hmm.
you don't end up like me, like really regretting a root canal. And
Mm.
then now having to figure out like, should I have, which you know, Aline, this is something I've been battling with. Part of me really wants to remove the root canal, but then I also have this deep fear. If I have the root canal tooth removed, it is in the front right here. And if I have it removed, I'm going to need to get an implant. And I'm
Mm.
really, not wanting to have anything drilled into my head. It's a surgery. Things, can happen with that. So that's all it if you can try a natural route before going to the dentist or before going to the doctor, always try the natural route first and give your body the opportunity to heal. Honestly, this cracked tooth that I got a root canal, I really feel like it could have healed itself had I known better.
Mm.
Um, but we also can't regret. So if you do have something like this, there's no regrets. Everything happens for a reason, and it's to help us, not to hurt us. And when we believe that everything happens for our greatest good, then it helps us to process and move forward and surrender our fears to God. And it's super
Thank you.
helpful.
Thanks for those helpful tips. That's so unfortunate that you had to go through that, and now you're in this position of wondering what to do. But it's helpful, when you're sharing your experience. Hopefully, will help somebody else who's in this situation. And thank you so much for those other tips about the teeth. That's really, really good advice. And also, I wanted to recommend there's some holistic dentists as well,
Yes, I was.
as opposed to like traditional dentists that are much more like more like the Western kind of doctors, but the holistic dentists have different approaches as well. So if you do need to go see a dentist, look up a holistic dentist in your area, and that will be, even if you want to remove a root canal or get some work done, like they have, recommendations how to do it in a healthier way.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
totally agree. And I wish that when I initially had this happen with the root canal, as a lot of you know, I had my baby girl a week before COVID lockdown. And also, I was 1 week postpartum when this tooth cracked. So when I went to the dentist, it was kind of like a weird time where I just had to find a dentist, but I wish I would have known better because since then I have found a holistic dentist
Mm.
and um, you know, and they're wonderful. Like they're like, "Oh, you have a teeny cavity." And I'm like, "Well, do you think I need it filled?" And they were like, "No, it's teeny and it can heal itself." That's not something you're gonna hear your regular
No.
dentist say, and my dentist asked me like, um, you know, are you eating meat because you might need to reduce your meat consumption if you are because I had inflammation.
Oh,
And your normal dentist is not going to relate that with dietary things either,
right.
but mine did. They're like, are you eating like breads and are you eating like meats and dairy because you might need to cut that out? And I giggled and I said like, no, some of my issues were also entwined with the autoimmune issues I was having.
Mm.
So when you're having autoimmune issues and inflammation, it causes problems in other parts of your
Yes,
body
yes.
too. So they saw the inflammation in my gums at that time before my juice cleanse, and that's why they asked me about the meat and stuff. But I was just having a flare, an autoimmune flare.
Hmm.
But yeah, they're gonna take different approaches. I had TMJ and they used like they helped me by like they massaged the back of my head
Aw.
and neck and then put pressure points behind my ears and then they used like a laser, just non-invasive, like one of the lasers on my neck and like helped me to like open my neck back up and everything.
Wow.
And they do like ozone treatments, where they do
Wow.
ozone in your mouth to kill stuff instead of doing surgeries and things. So yes, it is so beautiful to have a holistic dentist and someone you can talk to more. They even talk to me about, okay, you need x-rays, but here is like, you don't need to fear it. Here is, what we do. And like, they even told me like how much radiation it exposes you to. Like, they're really more in tune with those types of things versus like in the regular doctor, I mean, in the, well, doctor too, dentist, I found it to be like much more rigid, much more sterile, much more by the Western medicine book. Like,
Hmm.
oh, you have a crack in your tooth. You have to get a root canal. Here's the person I want you to
Yeah.
see for the root canal. You need to get it right away, or else this could happen. There was no like, talking to me, about, like just care, like how are you feeling, and just alternative methods. Like they made it seem like this was the only way, and being like postpartum and very tired. Like it was a week after I had my baby. I was still in a freaking postpartum diaper with my boobs leaking everywhere. I didn't have the capacity to really advocate, and COVID was happening. So I didn't go out and do what I normally do, like even with my gynecologist and doctor that I used when I had my children, I did my research, I found somebody that aligned, and I wasn't able to do that with the dentist, and it made a big, big difference. Like I said, there's no point in guilting ourselves though and beating ourselves up or having resentment. We're all just doing the best we can in the moment that we're in. So but I fully believe that, our bodies are able to heal and bounce back from most everything. So I'm just keeping my eyes set on that. And I remember talking to you, like, y'all, when I first started juicing, I didn't want to do my extended cleanse because I was afraid because I was having dental problems. You can ask Aline. I
Hmm.
called her and I was crying and I'm like, well, what if the juice makes it worse? What if, but I was having the dental problems because I was so acidic and inflamed, and I had so many other health problems, and I had no idea I had malabsorption, and my calcium and my B12 wasn't absorbing, and all the things. And then juicing actually addressed those things, and my dental issues began to subside.
Mm.
I went to the holistic dentist on my first cleanse, and even had some work done in the very beginning because I had already scheduled it, and had like a deep cleaning where they, numb you and they clean under the gum and do all the things, and honestly, though, like juicing actually improved the situation. I always giggle when people say, like, can you imagine how much sugar that was on your teeth? I'm like, I actually was having dental problems prior to the juice cleanse that was scaring me and keeping me from doing the juice cleanse. And then when I did the juice cleanse, my dental health improved tenfold.
And
Even my dentist was like, yes, good. It's looking better. Your inflammation's going down. Your pockets are
wow.
going down. Um, so I think that a lot of times it seems like the theme of this for me this week is fear, letting go of fears. It's so easy to allow fears to keep us from doing the things that we want to do, but the truth is we're always going to face fear. And we just have to learn how to process it, release it, and not let it keep us from living our most full lives.
Mm. Beautifully said. Wow. Oh, a lot of fears for real. Me too. I'm facing my fears of, uh, yeah, like some abandonment issues coming up, like wanting to maybe explore being in relationships, and then I like pull back because I'm like, oh, I'm scared. I'm scared they're gonna leave me. I'm scared they're gonna cheat on me. I'm scared of caring too much. I'm scared of being vulnerable. And it's like, well, wait, am I gonna stop myself from finding love and getting married? Like, because I'm afraid of that happening. And then I come back to like, am I not okay now? Am I not okay? I've been single for 7 years. Like, am I not okay? I'm fine. So why is it I'm going to give that power away to one person to destroy my life? Should they leave me or should they want to be with somebody else? Like, I'm just like facing that right now too, speaking of fears. They do want to get into a relationship at some point, but it's like those fears come up right away as soon as I start getting vulnerable or start like liking somebody. I just start thinking of the worst case scenario and thinking, no, I mean, like protect yourself. They, you know, so yeah.
Oh, that's so beautiful, Angel, because you're not the only one that like what I call it is like I catastrophize things because I have
Yeah.
PTSD, so I will think of the worst case scenario, and it will cripple me with fear to where I'm not able to move forward with something. Sometimes that's something I've been working on too. And I'm so glad you brought that up because I feel like a lot of people deal with this, especially in this day and age where we're constantly shown situations that we wouldn't encounter in real life, and we read all these things and we see all these things, all these negative possibilities that we never would have been introduced to were we just living our lives without screens. And I think it instills a lot of fear in us. And then fear is like a control tactic. Um, and our fear can control us too. Others people can use it to control us, but it can control us too. And it's just so beautiful that you're asking yourself like these questions because you don't want your fear to stop you from having what you truly desire, whether if that is like marriage and growing a family or whatever it is. But I think a lot of it too is us, just having these conversations with ourselves. Just like you said, you're doing the shadow work, you're growing, you're recognizing like how much it has to do with, feelings of abandonment and different things. And sometimes it can even create an expectation that people will let us down. And that's something we have to really work through too, that I think a lot of us deal with. But if we hold that approach always, then we will always be alone. We will always be isolated, which is
Yeah.
how the devil wants us. Like, that's how the darkness wants us to be alone. It's easier to pick us off one by one, but when we bring our light together and shine and help each other see, down the paths that we need to go down, like that's where the real magic happens. I love you so much. You held me up when I couldn't like love myself the way I needed to. You know what I mean? And I'm just like so forever grateful for that. And it's just back to like us needing support and love and encouragement. But I'm so, so proud of you. And that's like a really deep one to dig into right there, those abandonment. Even when you mentioned that before, I wanted to thank you because I realized like my fear this week. Also, I didn't make the connection, but when you mentioned it might have to do with abandonment issues and like my childhood, I realized that you're right because my childhood trauma made me feel like I wasn't protected as a child. And now I fear leaving my children in a world where they won't be protected by me. So it's actually very closely related.
Yeah.
And you just opened up another door of shadow work for me that I'm going to be journaling about later.
You're welcome.
Yeah, like thanks a lot. That's another thing too, y'all. Shadow work's it's just not comfortable. It's not the fun thing to do. Like, do I really want to sit down and write about like the problems and the things that are plaguing me and making me uncomfortable that I don't want to deal with? No, but the only way out is through. It's the only way, or
Yeah.
else you just stay trapped in it. But
Yeah.
I think it's really, really
And
beautiful that you're
and
looking
you
at that.
Yeah, and you continue to repeat those same karmic cycles. If you don't do it, there's consequences to not doing it. Like it may seem easy, but then are we always ending up with the same guy? Are we always ending up in, situations that explode? Just like there's certain, whoa, my throat. I'm
Juice time.
feeling some
Me
mucus
too.
coming up. But yeah, like if we don't put an end to those cycles consciously and bring those issues to the light, we continuously like repeat them in our life. And we all have those situations that are like, why is this happening again? Why is this happening again? Like it just keeps recurring. But I find that those situations that keep recurring, they are changing. I can notice the shifts. Like, yes, okay, maybe a friendship is ending, but it doesn't end in a big explosion like it used to. It might be an argument, or maybe like it's a little bit softer, and it doesn't leave in like I hate you and you hate me, and it's just like, okay, this has come to an end. That's fine. It's more peaceful. There's more it's more integrated peace and love in the separation if it is to happen. So I find that to be like really positive. So yeah, like we have to notice those things. And I mean, I'm not saying that there's never going to be any issues in our life, but if we want to attract someone different, if we want to change our circumstances, we have to change it at the root level, at the level where we're unconsciously attracting that, you know. I used to attract drama all the time in my life, and you know, up until recently, I mean, I still have a little bit of drama, but I've been like, it's been better. It's been better. It's not like well, no, I was scared of dying a few weeks ago. What am I talking about? I'm still in it. It slowed down
Some
for a while. Let's just put it that way.
some drama we cannot avoid. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's just going to happen and going to come for us. And it's like the grand up leveling, you know what I mean? Like it's just like the universe granting us an opportunity for self progression, you know what I mean? And and it's difficult and it's not fun, but again, like, you know, it's for our greater good. And you also can't blame yourself for that. I mean, of course, you can try to align your energy with love and, you know, minimize your own role in conflict, but conflict will always arise. So you shouldn't carry any guilt or shame about that, you know, especially situations that are really out of your control. Sometimes just the weirdest of circumstances, and you don't even know what the reason is happening. It might not even be because of you. It might be because you're meant to help somebody else, you know, or you know, it just might not even be mainly about you. Sometimes when things
Yeah.
happen to us, they're the universe helping us, guiding us, or even using us as a tool to help someone else.
Hmm.
So, you know, don't feel guilt about, you know, having some drama recently that was
Hmm.
outside of your control, and, you know, there was nothing you could do, and you handled yourself as best you could in the moment and in the situation, and that is very commendable. You know, it's not easy to um feel like the universe is shitting on you and then just say like, I'm gonna stand up tall and
Keep
you know, I'm gonna make it
juicing.
and I'm gonna keep going and I'm gonna do my best and I'm going to process this and I'm not going to repress it. Like you're an amazing, like a spectacular human being. And it's also the reason why it might take you a while to find like a star that shines as bright as you. You know what I mean? I've mentioned that to you before. Like you're a bright star in the sky, and not everybody should have access to you. Not everybody should be able to touch your light, because when you exude so much energy, you also have to build so much energy and light. You
Yeah.
know, that light is created through these literal experiences that you're going through. You are building your own light and building your own self up to be able to continue to help others. So it's like a beautiful thing. I know it's been stressful what you're going through, but I also see it as like you are such a spectacular like specimen, and so that's why you've been chosen to deal with this situation so that when others have to deal with something like this, you are able to relate from like a real place and really able to like help guide them out of the darkness. So many people are bullied. I know we're not going to get into detail about your situation, but bullying is a real thing, you know, and it happens to us all. Like people have come on my posts and told me I look like I was on hospice, you know, I look like I aged 20 years from juicing. Like people are sick. People are really sick. They're sick physically and they're sick spiritually because they're connected. And because of that, like they unconsciously spew hate, and we just cannot allow it to bring down our frequency.
Yeah.
We cannot allow it to bring down our vibe, or else we are not allowed, we're not able to serve the greater good. We're not able to serve the collective. We're not able to help others in the way
Yeah.
that we need to if we allow other people to steal our peace. For those of you listening, Aline and I's theme of the year, like God told me at the beginning of the year that we both needed to protect our peace. That was the
Yeah.
message I received. And I told
Yeah.
Aline right away, like, um, you know, I keep hearing this, protect your peace, focus on your family. And that's what we've both been trying to do. Just protect our peace, focus on our family, and serve in ways that we're able, you know. So you're doing such a beautiful job, and I'm so proud of you, and
Oh.
know that this storm is only to set you up for the rainbow.
Ooh, I thank you. I don't think I could be doing this without you and your support. You've been such an
Oh my
amazing friend,
God.
and
Vice
I think
versa.
you've pulled me out of the darkness more times than I have for you. You've
Oh,
definitely
not
been
true,
helping me
not
so much.
true. And throw away the comparison, we both help each other in different
Yeah.
ways all the time. You're a beautiful friend, you're worthy, you're incredible. Like I juiced 266 days with your help, like with your help and your light, and you were able to carry that light for
Oh,
me because you had been through something like just as difficult, and you understood and you gave your time and your love and your energy and look at the result. Like I've made so much progress, and it's so beautiful how we're able to reciprocate this sometimes without even knowing. I
yeah.
never knew I was going to join a community and then find Aline, and then we'd branch off and kind of have our own kind of community and our own kind of way of healing
Yeah.
things. And I never
Yeah.
thought I didn't realize like I was going to be healing so much inner uh, you know, inner work and
Yeah.
inner shadow work and trauma and things. Like I thought I was just juicing to heal my body. I didn't know I was juicing to heal my soul. And we need people like with a bright light to uplift us, and that's what you are for so many people, including me. And then when we start feeling better, we start shining our light and we start helping people that have even helped us. So now you
Yeah.
say that I've helped you, but you started off helping me. And then we have friends now that are out there juicing,
Yes.
right
Yes.
now because they saw us and we're juicing, and it's people I've followed and looked up to for
Yeah.
a long time, and that have helped me, and now they're saying that we're helping them, and it's just like it just lights me up inside to see like how sometimes we don't even understand like how we're blessing people over time and how those blessings return to us. We don't do
Yeah.
it for the blessings,
No.
but we
They
get
come
so much
back.
fulfillment and love comes back to
Yeah.
us, and that's
Yeah.
what we're exuding,
Hmm.
and that's what you do. You just exude love. So keep shining your
Thank
beautiful
you.
light. You're such a wonderful friend and a kind heart, and
Aw.
you helped so like thousands of people, and sometimes I don't even think you realize the scale of your reach. You have a group with, over like thousands of people in it that you help every day. We do these talks, and we're starting our own like inner circle community. So we have our free services and we have our paid services, and we're just giving our love and doing our best. And I'm just so proud. I'm so, so,
Thank
so
you.
proud
Oh,
because I was
I feel
like,
the same.
yes, you're the best.
Feel
You
the
are so
same.
good.
You're the best. Stop it. You're the best.
You are
Okay, we are. We are the best.
perfect.
We're real. We're real. We're authentic. We're moms. We're messy. We're amazing. We're up and down. Like, we're just painting a very real picture. And I think people need this in this day and age, like real, authentic conversations with real people, and I've been to your home, we've spent time together, like you are amazing and you really do walk the walk, you talk the talk, you are who you say you are online, and you live in integrity with yourself, you live with integrity with others, like you are just on a whole other level. You're helping me be a better person on a whole, and just like always come back to love, always come back to my center. Even when I'm like super angry, you hold me with love, and then you're just like you help me to heal that and to appease my heart, and that's been like so such a gift, such a gift to have you in my life, and to see
Angel,
you
stop.
blooming and blossoming and helping so many people too. Like who would have thought, just a year ago, like you were so shy, and look at you now, like you're just
I'm
on a
still
whole
shy.
new trend. You're still shy. Me too. But you've overcome the fear. You've overcome the initial, and you're becoming so much more confident and so much more like assured in yourself, knowing of your gifts, and knowing that you have something to share with people. That it's God giving you those gifts too, and you always give glory to God. You always like talk about how He's the one that's helping you move through these challenges and through the fear to really be in service and to really do his work. Like we have to step out of our ego. We have to step out of the Like, oh, why me? I don't really feel like it, or no, nobody wants to hear me. Like that's just a negative voice. That's our ego that's telling us that. But we have to rise above that to do God's work. And then we see, and there are so many blessings. Like look how many friends we've made along this path. Look how many incredible things that we've been to. You know, the Texas Fruit Festival and so many things coming up. Like we have big dreams, the sweet spot we've done together. And like we have dreams of traveling and like it's just the beginning for us. And it's a
Yeah,
beautiful, beautiful spiritual
absolutely.
journey. Yeah, we thought it was going to be physical. Me too. I was just trying to heal my body. I didn't realize it was going to be so deep.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. It
Yeah.
is an unexpected benefit of cleansing your temple is really ascended spirituality, you know.
Yeah.
And for those of you all listening, I can go on and on about Aline all day, but I want you all to know that, you know,
You just did.
we
You just did.
we love you all so much, and like you all are the reason why we share, the reason why we show up when we don't want to, the reason why we talk about gross and uncomfortable things that we would never share about.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just such a blessing to have made so many beautiful friends like you all. And, you know, I'm so very appreciative, but also I want you to know just how we're affirming each other. You all have beautiful gifts and light to shine into the world. And the better you take care of yourself, the better able you are to shine that light and to serve and to help others. And the more you help others, the more you feel it return to you. And so that's basically what we're expressing right now and what you hear. So keep expanders in your life. I cannot say that enough. Keep people in your life that expand your joy, that expand your dreams, that encourage you, you know, that don't put you down, you know, set your boundaries and don't let others put limitations on you. Don't let others burden you with their expectations. You will find people who will love you despite that. I've had so many people unfriend me, unfollow me because I didn't answer their DM in a certain amount of time, but that's an expectation that they had. And I had to put a stop to that because my priority is my health and my family. Um, and so, you know, just don't let others affect your vibe and take your power. It's really easy for us to unintentionally like give away our power. Just like in that situation, I was feeling so much guilt. I wanted to help everybody. I wanted to help them right away. I'm like, oh, they unfriended me because I didn't answer them back. And then like I just let that shit go. I'm gonna be honest with y'all
Yeah.
because we can't be everything for everybody all the time. But you will find people who will respect you and understand that you're going through things and that you're not some like superhero that can do everything for
Yeah.
everyone. You might end up being able to be that if you're able to take good enough care of yourself, but even then it's with boundaries,
Yeah.
you know? So just continue to shine your light bright and love yourself and take care of yourself and set your boundaries and keep people around you that lift you up. Like Aline and I lift each other up. And don't force it. Like, you know, join people. I saw someone recently say, like, oh, people get in these communities and they say join a community for connection, but that's not real connection. It's a lot of people. Well, I'm going to have to disagree with that because, yeah, you're not going to connect with every single person on such a high level in every community, but you are going to go in a community, find like-minded people, and then there will be some people that you resonate more
Mm-hmm.
with than others. And it might not be who you expect. So you also have to keep yourself open. But if you refuse to go in the communities and even meet people, then you aren't going to find the connection that you're looking for. You also have to take a look at your own role in the connections that you're making, you know?
Definite.
I saw
Yeah,
that this week
definitely.
and I was just kind of like, ah, you know, I was thinking like I get where they're coming from, but also like you're already closing yourself off to the opportunity to connect with someone
Yeah.
who could breathe
Yeah.
life into you. Like
And it
me
could
with
be,
you, I joined a community and then I found you. I mean, we would have never found each other if not for that.
yeah,
And then
we
I
got to
don't
put
even
ourselves out
participate
there.
in that community as much. But yes, it's just part of putting yourself out there and then finding those who resonate, those who align, those who respect your boundaries, and those who also, being careful of people who trigger your traumas because there are a lot of good people out there who are going to trigger you.
Yeah.
And it's not either one of your fault. But if you're not healed to a certain extent and someone perhaps like um is a bit judgmental and maybe you're healing with something like a lot of us have like judgmental moms, for instance. So that's a wound that a lot of people have. So just like that, for instance, we can trigger that in others and they can trigger it in us. And it's also something that we have to be okay with and not have guilt or shame about, but also like know how to set our boundaries. But community is everything. So don't stop yourself from making connections because you feel like the community pool is diluted. If you never go out there, you're not going to connect with anybody.
Yeah. For sure. Please join Queen Jennie's juicing group, Weekend Juice Fasters. It's such a great community, so amazing. Thank you so much for creating that group, and also Kings and Queens of Raw. We'd love to have you there. And then stay tuned too for our Sweet Life, our community, our paid community, which will be a more private, intimate group where we're going to offer a lot more of ourselves, a lot more knowledge, information, and it's going to be, probably a smaller group, at least to start off. But because it's going to be a paid group, I think it's going to remain quite intimate. So please stay tuned for that. We look forward to bringing that to you.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so excited. We're going to try to keep the price point where it is a lower amount of people and more intimate.
Mm-hmm.
No, but not too much to where it's too expensive. We're going to try to make it like really reasonable, and I'm really, really so excited. And for those of you who don't know, our sweet friend Kiki, who passed away, she was such an inspiration for this, and she coined the name and, had so much excitement about helping us in this group and moderating and being such a big
Yes.
part of it. So that is like it's going to be her beautiful spirit breathed into it as well. So I'm super, super excited about it.
In
Mm.
honor of Queen Kiki. And we're going to have some pretty cool merch too, so I'm excited about that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely going to do some really, really cute designs for you all and, get a lot of healing modalities in there and perhaps like some fun extracurricular activities. Like hint hint, you all know that I was an art teacher, so we might be having some fun things in there for adjusting thought processes and different things using art therapy. And we just have so many ideas. It's going to be like a really, really beautiful, non-judgmental, sacred, open space for those of you who want to really connect more intimately and do feel like the bigger communities are a little bit much, as far as intimate connection goes.
Yay. I
Super
can't
excited.
wait. Very
Me
excited too, Boo. I want to do some art with you.
too. I can't wait.
Let's
This is
just
going to be so much
play. Like
fun.
part of it is just having fun, right? And expressing our inner child,
Yeah.
going to our creative side and finding outlets to transform all those difficult feelings into turning them into something
Yeah.
beautiful. So that's what we're doing. It's all about alchemy,
Yeah,
transforming
we are
it.
going to find a lot of beautiful organic ways to work in the shadow work as well. There will be a lot of journal prompts and discussions on journal prompts and things of that nature and sound healing, frequency healing, like the whole 9 yards. And it's going to be really beautiful and open too for suggestions and what all the community needs as well. So we are so excited. We have been working on this behind the scenes for quite some time, but you know how life is. Sometimes
Yeah.
it can take some time for it to come to fruition, but it's getting there, and we're really, really excited to bring it to you all.
It takes time to birth a baby.
Yeah, yep,
It's a
exactly.
baby. It's a little baby we're birthing. So thank you all. All
Yes.
right, Boo. Well, I love you so much. I love our little chats and look forward to next week. We're going to be past 40. We'll be on day 46, depending on which day we do it. But yeah, thank you so much for sharing your beautiful light, your spirit, your energy with us. And thank you to everybody who came on and joined us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for everyone listening. We appreciate you. We want you to have a beautiful day, week, month, the whole nine. And if you're going through any challenges, just remember that you are being set up for something so much greater, and it's only going to strengthen you and your love. So, love you all so much. I love you, Aline. Come visit
Yay,
me
love you
soon.
so
I'm
much.
missing you.
I know, me too. I miss you. I will very soon. All
All
right,
right,
Boo. All
everybody.
right,
I'm gonna go check on
everybody.
the kids.
Bye.
Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.